Happy Thursday morning, everyone. This is Meg at Chasing Retro, and today I have a little estate sale haul to show you. Today is Thrifty Thursday, which is hosted by Sheree at Turquoise Dreaming. If you'd like to link to her channel, you can participate in Thrifty Thursday, where you share your favorite finds of the week. And also, I'm going to tag Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic for thrifted treasures. These items that I got are obviously not from a thrift store, but I bought them at an estate sale at a pretty good price, so they're considered thrifty finds. But first, before I get into that, I wanted to say thank you to one of my viewers named Anita, who surprised me yesterday by sending me an Amazon gift package. I did not expect an Amazon package, so I kind of just opened it walking into the house, and it was a bottle of Tombow Aqua Liquid Glue. I have never tried this before. I'm so excited to try it. In her little note to me, she said that she recently bought it and loved it and wanted me to have some. So thank you so much, Anita. I cannot wait to use this. I'm probably going to become addicted to it quite quickly. So my husband was laughing at me because I was so excited about glue last night. He was like, wow, you get excited about glue. All right, the first book I'm going to show you is, I'm just going to flip through it really fast. This is from actually another estate sale, and this is the only junk journal item I bought there. I bought several other things, like a wicker trash can, which I've been looking for forever, and just a couple little household items. But I found this book, and I love Helen Steiner Rice. She was my grandmother's favorite poet, and so whenever I see a book of hers, I try to get it if I don't already have one like it. And this lady at this estate sale basically made a glue book out of it. I love this. She wrote in here, of course I say that and I show you the pages she didn't write on, but here's an example. She glued, this is like a framed picture that was in a catalog or something. And she just glued stuff in, and then she would write about them. Here's a parenting article, the poem Footprints, talking about her grandbabies being born. I just love this. So I decided to get it and keep the memory of this sweet lady alive. She was one of my aunt's friends, and yeah, and also, of course, the beautiful floral illustrations in here will be lovely to add to a journal page. So if you ever see Helen Steiner Rice, do pick up her books. The cover of this is nice. It's like a watercolor paper. So, okay, the other estate sale turned out to be in the neighborhood where my dad grew up. I had no idea where I was because I was on a different part of the neighborhood. And then when we turned the corner and I saw the name of the road, I was like, oh my goodness. So I had to FaceTime my dad, and we went by his house. It was really cool. But this estate sale, I was putting two and two together. It seemed like he was a World War II vet and they had been together a very long time. Turns out she died at almost 100, and he was retired in the late 70s, and they traveled the world after he retired, and then he passed away in the late 90s, and she spent the last 20 years or 25 years, I guess, as a widow, still living in the house. And so there were, several things of his in the house, but a lot of things of hers as well, that she had done in her later years. And one of the things they did, of course, was travel. And so at the very end, I'll show you the really unique and awesome thing that I found at the bottom of a bookshelf, kind of neglected in a corner. I'm most excited about that, probably. In one of the bedrooms, I think they had two children. In one of the bedrooms, I love this estate sale company. They curate their things so beautifully. Either they do it by theme or by color. And so it's always an absolute joy to shop through houses that this company has curated. And so they had set this bedroom up as like a child's room from the 50s or 60s. And so it literally felt like you were stepping back in time. And so By the time I got to the basket of Jack and Jill's, there were only 2 left. And they had been cut up by the child, I guess. Maybe she was making a poster or something. So there's pieces missing. But you know, that is my love language, because that's what I did to mine. And I'm still doing it. Look at those flowers. So I got them anyway, even though I still paid the price they asked for the ones with the covers, but that's okay. I got a great deal on everything else, so I figured I would do this. And this looks like maybe an October issue, which is funny because I don't find these very often, but when I do get them, they're always October. This one, however, is Easter, so I'm excited about that. I did get 2 children's books. The prices were not great, but I had never seen this version of Heidi, so I got it. Literally, it's in 2 pieces. This is a wonder book, and I'm going to be doing several Heidi journals at some point, and so I thought the illustrations in here. This is that paper that doesn't fold very well, so I may or may not be able to keep the original pages in the journal, but I will definitely be able to cut these. These illustrations are small enough that I can cut them out and use them as embellishments. So there's the back of that one. And this one I had never seen, but Carol, you know I had to get this book because of the giraffe, right? And not only a giraffe, he's like a psychedelic color giraffe. So I guess it's just a joke book or a pun book. And I loved the orange and blue. Everything in here is sort of orange and periwinkle. I thought that was very unique. So, let's see. Birthday 1963, it says. 1959 was the publication. So that's a fun book if you ever see that one. I found a baby book that appears to have never been used, and one of these has been on my wish list for a while. I do have a smaller baby book that's like turn of the century, and it's made of leather, but that one will not make a very pretty journal or baby cover, I don't think. I'll be using what's inside maybe, but this one, oh my goodness, y'all, it was $2. So let's see what the front of the box looks like. Oh my, look at this. Look. There's nothing on the back. Okay, so this is called Days to Remember, and it's that beautiful taffeta that has the design in it. It almost looks 3D. I said it was never used, but oh my goodness. There is a list of gifts in here. Oh, I cannot fathom how this can be given away at an estate sale. I don't know that I'll ever understand. It would be one thing if it were $50, but $2? Look at these beautiful illustrations. So, I mean, goodness, this is probably a lock of her hair. I just can't. Maybe because those only a couple pages were filled in. Maybe she was the second child. We all know what it's like when the second and third and fourth child comes along. They kind of get the short end of the stick because we were busy taking care of 2 babies at that point and don't take as many pictures. Rice oatmeal. Oh my goodness. They wrote prescriptions for oatmeal. I guess sort of a directive, less of a prescription, more of a directive on what to feed the baby. This is just so lovely. So you guys tell me, do you think this was worth $2? I think so. My husband went with me, and of course he is, I should say, well trained to know what to look for. And we were in the little office room, and he came up to me, and he just kind of like nudged me with these and winked at me, and I was like, yes. So these are just vintage ledgers. All the writing sadly has been torn out, but these were used for monthly expenses and things. And I don't really have many this old. Most of the ones I have are like 90s and newer. So, and then this one was just, I'd never seen one like this. There's no cover, but it's much thicker paper, and the colors are blue and brown, and I thought that was neat. So I have no idea how much she charged us for these, because some of these she just kind of bundled together. And here's one of the 10 columns that's longer. But these were probably going right into the trash at the end of the day, so I'm glad I was able to get them. My husband also spotted this. It's a little musty, but it's a Good Housekeeping from 1951. Oh my goodness, these towels. So I used my self-willpower, whatever you call it, to not, see, the pages are almost eaten away by water damage, it looks like. It looked like he had collected Life magazines for decades. There were stacks and stacks and stacks of Life magazines. Now, I love the covers of them. I love some of the images inside of them, but they're so large. It is very difficult to use them in junk journals. Even if you use part of a page, like part of an ad, it still ends up being, it's just not really easy to work with. They're almost better for a collector to just keep intact. So they were only $2 a piece, but I left every single one of them behind. And not many other people were getting them either. I remember when I was in high school and college, there would be like vendors in the mall that would have tables in the middle of the mall, and they'd have crates full of Life magazines, and they were charging like $6 to $12 and up for them. So I don't know if they're losing their value, or they were just trying, these people were just trying their best to get rid of them today. Oh look, Ivory Snow. My mama washed my clothes with Ivory Snow. Also, this is something fun. This is a fun childhood memory. She would put Ivory Snow in a metal bowl for me and give me some wire egg beaters, the kind with the little crank. And she would put warm water in it, and she would let me beat them, the suds, until it made bubbles. And then I got to play in the bubbles. It was so fun. And it was probably teaching me fine motor skills as well, because my mom is smart. So yes, this is definitely very musty. That looks like ice cream. But nevertheless, totally usable. I'm excited about this. Lots of kitchens, lots of recipes. Love it. And it's a very thick magazine too. I don't remember some of the other ones I have being this large. Okay. This is $2. I had to get it. I love business stamps. This must have been where he worked. And it's just beautiful. Love it, love it. I thought that was worth. So some of the stuff was discounted because it was the third day, but this was not, but I was okay with that. And then I got a coupon for the Greenville County or Greenville Country Club pool snack bar. So the stuff that I'm showing you right now was sitting on the ground in one of the bedrooms because someone had bought a bulletin board and did not want everything on the bulletin board. So they had just taken everything off and put everything on the floor. So I just kind of went through and picked up pieces of paper. And when I got to the register, she said, oh, you can just have those. So I only got a couple. Here is a Mars Hill College bookstore price tag. My mom went to Mars Hill, so I got this for her. Mom, if you're watching, this is coming to you. Maybe I'll put it in a journal for you. I don't know. And then I got these music practice records. And so whatever child they had to practice. I don't know if this is piano. I think it is, because there was a beautiful baby grand piano in the house. So she had to write down all of her scales that she did. Looks like just once a week. I don't know. So those were kind of neat. Okay. The rest of it is fabric, except for the thing at the end. So if you like vintage fabric, stay tuned. Okay, so the fabric, I could tell she was a seamstress because there were dresses hanging in every room, ball gowns, actually a few ballet, tutu ensembles, things like that. And I could tell that a lot of the pillows and pillow shams were handmade. And then I finally got upstairs and there was a sewing machine. Well, I was like, well, where there's a sewing machine and all of this, there has to be fabric. Sure enough, there was a little closet off of the top of the attic, almost like an attic bedroom, if you will. And I opened the closet and there were totes in there. Not musty at all. I was afraid they would smell musty. They did not. Sealed totes that were unopened. I asked, they said, yes, it is all for sale. But I guess they didn't think people would want it because it was not priced. So I started going through it. Y'all, I found some Swiss dot, or dotted Swiss, which is, one of my bucket list items. I hardly ever find it. This is a pale pink with white dot. I love that. It's a small piece, as all of these are, but I will use every square inch of this. You can bet. So I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I have not seen this many beautiful vintage fabrics that were like 60s, 70s groovy fabrics in one place in a very long time. So I was literally screaming inside. I was so excited. Again, everything has been cut because she made little small projects like going out the door. We saw some pot holders in the kitchen and some of them had been made with some of these things. So she just liked to make small projects, it seems, as well as her large, beautiful ball gowns. But this is like a bark cloth, I guess you would call it, and it's a beautiful burnt sienna with some very bright daisies and mod flowers on it. This is incredible. I'm assuming this would have been an Easter dress or a romper or something like that, and it's just so retro and fun. It's got little baby ducks and rabbits, and it's just beautiful. A lot of her things were tied with little yarns, and I thought that was so cute too, how she keeps it all neatly together. This is probably one that's not super vintage. I'm guessing 90s. It's just a beautiful pink calico, almost like a Laura Ashley type. I got a lot of Laura Ashley vibe walking through the house, so I think that might have been her inspiration. Look, she's already got this. This is like a curtain tie back maybe. Or an apron. Part of an apron. This was just cute and beautiful. I thought maybe, I saw the strawberry and then I saw this and I was like, are these persimmons or pomegranates? I don't know. I feel like it's just a jumble of fruits and maybe some flowers thrown in. But it was just so delicate, and I had to grab this. Not knowing when I got to the register how much all this was going to be, I just started putting them in my little shopping bag. I love this. It's very colonial looking. Little guy with a sickle, I guess, and a giant tulip. I just love that. This is beautiful. This is a weird shaped piece, but for tags and stuff like that, they're perfect. I can use every bit of this. This reminds me of wallpaper. I love the colors. Here is some groovy paisley. It's very thick. It's almost like upholstery fabric. So I was wondering if maybe it was used to make a shift dress, because you know you had to make those out of thicker fabrics. Or it could have been something like a cornice board. I don't know. It's just very fun. And then this beautiful fall-like floral print. Love it. Okay, here's the grooviest of the bunch. Look at this. This is very thick as well. You can tell just by not only the print, but the feel of the fabric. These were not inexpensive fabrics. These were probably very premium fabric store pieces. Very lovely. Some of them were in bags, and I don't know why she would put some of them in bags, but maybe I thought some of it that I left there looked like it was maybe remnants of something that she had professionally upholstered, and maybe they gave her the offcuts at the end. This reminded me of vintage sheets, sort of monochromatic with colors thrown in, and I just love it. It is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I cannot convey to y'all how excited I was to find all of this stuff. I mean, beyond excited. I literally took every piece in both totes that I knew I could use and that I liked. So I hope somebody else came along and got the rest. Like, I left a lot of the earthy toned and, you know, solid colors because I'm not super into solids. So this was beautiful, and I actually saw a pot holder in the kitchen made out of this. This doesn't feel as old as the others. Maybe late 70s. Here is another piece of dotted Swiss. This looks like cream dots on white. Again, I never see this, so I was very excited to see that. This is amazing. This is very gauzy. And it just looks Brady Bunch to me. It's sort of Scandinavian, but it's got some 60s feel as well. I love the aqua with the peach. I love how that jumps out. That'll be an interesting thing to use. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use it yet, but I couldn't leave that there. Here's another groovy one. This is bark cloth again. I guess that's what you call this. It unravels pretty easily, and obviously it'd be very difficult to use as a journal cover because folding the corners and all that would be difficult. It can be done, but it is just harder to work with than broadcloth. But for tags and pockets, it is ideal. Okay, here's a larger piece of bark cloth. This is what I was talking about with the upholstery. I know there is an Etsy seller. I can't remember her shop right now, but she makes bags, like zippered bags and pouches out of this stuff. It reminds me a lot of what I see in her shop, and I just love it. It reminds me of what my grandma's den looked like about the time I was born. She had a lot of browns and oranges and olives. Okay, this was just a lot of small pieces, very small pieces, so I just kind of wrapped it in a circle. It says Concord Fabrics, I think, which I've never heard of, but yeah, I mean, it's just so happy. I love this. Here's some more bark cloth that's kind of, to me, this just felt like a lawn chair. Like a patio furniture kind of feel. And I love it. I love how bright it is. Some people would see this as garish, but I love it. Obviously, this lady and I had very similar tastes. Very similar taste. And evidently, she loved florals as much as I do. Here's another child's type print. And it's interesting because it's more earth tones. But I think I looked for giraffes and there's none. But there are elephants. These are more jungle, not Sahara. So we've got alligators, snakes, lions, elephants, these little guys, I guess baby tigers, a chicken or some sort of tropical bird. But yeah, cute. Again, I wonder what she used this for. Wait a minute, I think this is a giraffe. It is. It's 2 giraffes. Look at that. Monkey. Isn't it fun? Because at first glance, it looks like floral, and then you get closer and you're like, oh, those are animals. Oh, I forgot one right in front of me. Here's another beautiful Scandinavian type. It's like a sage green. Very pretty. Just a generic fall, another Concord fabric. A fallish look, but with that pop of coral, which is very interesting. This beautiful little print. Very springy. This was amazing. It's little butterflies and yellow flowers. Seersucker plaid in colors that I'd never ever see. So pretty. I would totally wear an entire pantsuit made of this. I love it. More of that Scandinavian type. I love these colors so much. I'm getting to look through it for the first time really without like rushing, because we had already been there almost an hour when I found this closet. So I was just throwing stuff, you know, just tossing it in. This is the last piece. This is very, I don't know how to describe this one. It's almost like what you would make a caftan out of, like one of those long beach cover-ups. It's very silky, but thicker than that. It's probably a polyester acetate blend, but it's very nice and super retro. Okay, and the last item, as I promised, let me move this because it's casting a shadow. Evidently, everywhere they traveled, she kept a little notebook. And so I scooped every single one of them up. Isn't this amazing? These are all of their travels. And wait till you see her handwriting. Australia, 1983. She's got the calendar. She's got the travel agent. She basically has an iPhone in paper form because she has every single thing she needs right here. Here's their flights. Remember Eastern Airlines, guys? They spent the night in San Francisco. And then they went to Honolulu and then on to Australia. Look at this. I mean, she just took detailed notes about everything. And then once you get past this stuff, you have a day-by-day itinerary of everything they did, everything they ate. Is that not amazing? Allergies in early a.m., but slept until about 7. I consider that early a.m. She saw a Kmart, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a Pizza Hut, and shopping centers. She wrote down someone's anniversary that day. Bought a navy leather purse for myself. Big sale. Girl on public address system calling attention to it. She paid $29. So that was Australia. And this one, look at this. I think she glued this on here. That's fun. Again, I think she would have been a junk journaler had she been still here today or even knew what it was back then. She would have done it. Paris, 1980. So here's their Paris trip. Postcard. Look at this. Exchange rates. Scotland, 1981. So she put a map of Scotland here. I can't wait to read this one. And then she's got postcards. Oh, the royal wedding. Just amazing. Brussels, Zurich, and Berlin, 1985. New Orleans. So here's their receipts. Oh my word. Look at this. Vincent Art Supplies, Jackson Square. I wonder if they ate at that restaurant. Oh my goodness, they had lunch at Arnaud. Did I say it right? Paula, one of my viewers, wrote me about Arnaud's and told me I was saying it wrong because it was, I think, a French pronunciation. And she saw an Arnaud's matchbook in my stash, but she had lunch there that day. And here's what she had: oysters Rockefeller, shrimp Creole, strawberries like ice cream, and good French bread. That is amazing. And it probably cost $12. She bought a frame with glass. This is just so neat. She bought some shoes. Why is it in French though? I mean, I guess it's the store, because the rest of it's in English, but the name of the store is Gouchot. Gouchot. I lived in Louisiana for a while, but didn't really pick up a lot of the lingo. I know Carrie at the Paper Monkey. She lives there, and she talks about things that I'd never heard of, and then she'll occasionally say something that I'm like, oh, I do remember hearing that. One of my best friend's dad was Cajun, and he used to make gumbo every Friday. Yes, y'all. It was the good kind, the kind that you just stand there and dump cans of beer in it. I loved getting to spend the night with her on Fridays. Look at this, Singapore. She's got her stickers in here. This is a junk journal, y'all. And this one looks like Christmas. Where'd they go? London? I guess they went to London for Christmas. And then San Francisco, New Zealand, and Australia again. London. I'd like to go to London at Christmas time. I can't imagine having this life. I literally can't. Florida. What is this? Where's this? Copenhagen? Yeah, in the Netherlands. Denmark. Netherlands and Denmark. Here's their receipts. I mean, this is just so unreal that all this was still there. and no one else wanted it. In October, they went to Hong Kong and Thailand and Hawaii. London, Geneva, Vienna, Paris. That was a long trip. Germany, Switzerland. Washington. Yeah. Look, you can see the Rite Aid memo book underneath. Europe again, because it's, I see French. Yeah. Oh, Harrods. That's in London. I have a bag from there. Montreal. Amsterdam. New York. Quebec, Toronto, New York. Boston, Delaware, New Orleans, Sulphur Springs. Look at that shelf liner. And last but not least, Boston and Williamsburg. This was a very small trip. So, that was the travel adventures of this couple. That's pretty amazing. I really hope that the family has the pictures from it at least, or the slides or whatever. But I'm very grateful to have these notebooks. So what was your favorite item today? I know it's hard to pick because I don't know that I could. I guess I would have to say these. But I do love these fabrics because I have an obsession with vintage fabrics, and this was quite the treat to walk in and see all of these in that closet. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that all of you are having a great week. And again, head over to Dale's channel and Sheree's channel if you would like to participate in either of these little collaborations. They're open to everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, I hope to list the Faith Floral Journals. See you soon.